How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of treehouse up in this piece, in the form of Fudge. Fudge is a Imperial milk stout brewed to emulate the flavor of fudge in a beer. Who doesn't want that? By utilizing milk chocolate, lactose, cocoa powder, we are able to craft beer that ignites your senses with joy and exhilaration. Calling mind, dense and chewy chocolate fudge, wrapped up in a tightly carbonated, creamy body. Let's see, what? Yeah, let's see how this sucker plays. This comes courtesy of Oak Ridge. Thank you very much, homie. First and foremost, gotta represent. So listen, when I sit down for beer reviews, oh, is that a perfect pour or what? Oh, I just poured over the edge just a little bit. Look at that. It looks like fudge, though, I'll tell you that much. And that's why Jesus invented mystery beers. So I always have... That's the whole thing. I actually don't like doing mystery beers. I just wanted to have an endless supply of widely available paper towels at my beck and call whenever I spilled stuff. And I said, what way could I do that? I'm like, I will make this thing where I wrap up beers with paper towels and people will send them to me. So that way, whenever I spill stuff, I can wipe it up. So there you go. But back to story time. So when I do beer reviews, and I'll put this up here so you guys can peek at it while I tell the story, because that's going to take a little bit for that little fudgy head to go down. When I do beer reviews, I do 3 or 4, in one sitting. That's kind of what I typically do. And, it's exactly what I did tonight. I did a mystery beer. I did 2 small little pale ales before this, like a lager and a pale ale. Then I jumped into a sucker. The odds that all 3 previous to this not being good or kind of astronomical. It's happened before, but it's very, very rare. And that be the case tonight. And right before I crack this open, it's kind of like encompasses the whole kind of good brewery craft beer mentality thing as a whole, and why Treehouse is so successful with their business model and what they do. Is that I did those 3. One was a mystery beer. Ugh. The other 2, I was like, yes. And I went to put these down, place them, and hit record on my camera, and I said, at least I know this one's not going to suck, because it's Treehouse. And, in the grand scheme of things, even if it's mediocre, it's probably better than most people's beers. I mean, that's how I roll. Label-wise, it's actually really nice. A little farm woman there, mixing up a little brownie batter. Who would want any more than that? This guy wants more. He wants more in delicious beer form. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, she looks the part of a rich, decadent kind of milk stout, because look at that head. I mean, I didn't even pour that douchebaggery, and it came out like that. So I'm going to try to get a nose off this. It's going to be really hard because this head is crazy. Let's see what we got. So, rich darkness, infinite creamy top. I'm going to give you a little secret. It smells like fudge. Yeah, it smells like chocolate. Does it smell like fudge? Sure. Like fudge batter more than anything else. I mean, I think that's the way it's going to come off anyway, because when I think of, like, fudge, it has this kind of, like, hardness to it. At least the fudge that I think of. It's not like brownie batter. It's not, like, soft. It's kind of hard. If any of you out there have ever been to the wonderful world of Knoebels, which is a free kind of amusement park out close to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, they have, like, a little fudge hut. That's what I think of when I think of fudge. All the fudge that comes out of this place. And this comes off a little bit softer, a little bit creamier. Somewhere between fudge and like a brownie batter. But chocolate, vanilla, a little like vanilla sponge cakey kind of vibe going off on it. A little bit of nuttiness to it. So, I mean, it smells the part. Let's actually just dive in. Cheers. Yeah, that's delicious. I mean, a lot of Treehouse stouts already lean into this direction, so I think it's only a natural progression for them to do a beer like this, and I'm not trying to dismiss what they do by being like, oh, they kind of do this shit already. So they're already halfway there. But this comes off really nice because it gives you multiple levels of kind of chocolate playing around on there. It gives you a little bit of nutty characteristic, which I think is nice. When I think of brownies, I know I keep associating brownies and fudge, and I know they're 2 different things, but in my brain, they kind of go a little bit hand in hand. But a lot of fudge I've had, a lot of brownies I've had that little kind of nut cluster on top. It has that going for it. It has a little bit of soft confectionery, kind of lactose, milky kind of marshmallow thing going on, but it's not overly sweet. It just adds a dimension to that chocolate, that rich, dense chocolate that you need to kind of lighten up a little bit to make it more kind of palatable, as opposed to being just chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. There's a roasted malt here that kind of brings you back to reality, makes you think you're actually drinking a beer. Mouthfeel is thick while at the same time remaining fluffy. Probably the coolest trick this thing is pulling off is how dense the mouthfeel is, but it still doesn't come off heavy. Very, very cool there. Zero. Zilch of that metallic astringency thing I get from time to time on these darker beers. Yeah, absolute pleasure. Super tasty. Makes me think of fudge. Delicious. A huge relief based off of the beers I had previously. It's fucking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better adjunct stouts that I've had as late? Yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? I don't think so. But it's damn good. Yeah. Delicious stuff. Up towards the top, let's put it that way. Value and availability? No idea. Oak. Mr. Ridge. I'm going to just call you Mr. Ridge. Let us know what's what. And thank you very much for sending this off or dropping this off or whatever you want to call it. And leave you with, if you like what? Will you like this? If you like big, rich Imperial stouts that flirt with pastry, but don't necessarily get to what people would classify as pastry. It's a dessert beer. It's confectionery, but it's not over-the-top sweet, and it's not over-the-top pastry. It leans in that direction heavily, but it doesn't get super kind of sophomorically, sugary, bullshitty. So I think it's more of an adult kind of dessert kind of beer, and that's a good thing. So if you like those things, you'll like this. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of fudge right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.